House breaks 100-year record as McCarthy fails on 10th ballot for Speaker. The latest, Pelosi says Democrats won't make a deal to elect McCarthy. McCarthy wheels and deals for Speaker votes from GOP hardliners. Speaker Live updates. McCarthy loses 10th Speaker vote. Despite concessions, Kevin McCarthy has failed to win over Republican hardliners, leaving his bid for speakership to fail repeatedly over 3 days of voting. The chamber cannot act on any other business until a speaker is chosen. House gridlock over speaker is now longest since before the Civil War. And welcome me back to the channel. I just want to have a chat with you guys about what the heck's going on in our Congress. It is still undecided on who the next Speaker of the House will be. And I don't see any end in sight. We will see. I think, as I mentioned before, that there may be a kind of a hard deadline on January 13th. So this could drag out theoretically through over the weekend. But there's been a lot of fierce words, and I will share this with you. This is an interview over on Fox News with Hannity and Boebert. Take a look for yourself.
You haven't answered my question. So if you have...
You cannot
yesterday you supported, yesterday you supported Jordan. Today you're supporting Donald.
That's not the way this works. We need a check and a balance on the third in line.
Who
to
is
the
your
presidency.
fight? Let's have a final answer. Who do you want to be Speaker of the House?
Maybe that's for the conference to decide. We need to come together.
Who do you want? I'm asking who you want.
What does it look like, life after Kevin? We need to find somebody who can actually unify.
So as you can see, there is definitely fighting between Hannity and Boebert. They're not nice to each other. They're talking over each other. And unfortunately, this is sort of how our political discussions go these days. And essentially, I feel like, to be perfectly frank, voters get for what they vote for, right? This is just reflective of our current society. It's a problem. And also, too, if you take a look at sort of where the voting is, you guys probably know McCarthy is Republican, Jeffries is Democrat. Essentially, McCarthy was trying to go for Speaker of the House. His votes keep decreasing. He needs 218 to win. They've had 10 votes now, which is a lot, and he's currently at 200. So Jeffries has been at 212 the whole time. People voting others is currently at 20, and then you have one person voting present. The other people that Republicans could go for theoretically, you have Donald's in there, and now there's a new person, Hearn. Donald's got 13 votes, Hearn got 7. I don't think either of those people are legitimate candidates, to be perfectly frank. So you know, it is a problem. Like, if you're not going to go with McCarthy, who are you going to? So you can see here, this is a list of the voting of the people who are against McCarthy in the Republican Party, who they're voting for. So they started with Biggs, then they went to Jordan, and they started talking Donalds. Starting in round 7, you actually had Matt Gaetz vote for Trump to be Speaker of the House. I'm not making it up. It's right there. And now we have a split between Donalds and Hearn. So one of the issues is that they are not even consolidated on who they want to be Speaker of the House. And in fact, Fox News / Hannity was basically beating Boebert over the head, saying, you don't even have 30 votes for one candidate. Who do you want to be? And, you know, what do you want, et cetera. And that's what they're fighting about. So I actually, you know, have no problem with if someone wants to be anti-establishment and that's, you know, what you want to do. The issue becomes is if that's your plan to be, you know, against anti-establishment, offer a better plan. And that's my opinion. If you don't have a better plan, then be quiet. But these people represent a group of constituents, and also, to be fair, guys, this is not just a right issue. It's also, you could say, left issue. You could say right and left issue. Is that you have groups of people, you know, we'll say, for example, on the left side, we'll say a bunch of people in California or Oregon or Washington, say, that just don't have the job skills that pay them enough money to, you know, make enough to live in this world, and they just get really, really angry and blame the system and, you know, want to burn down everything, for example. And you could have people on the right, which we were seeing right now, that just don't have the job skills that pay them enough money to survive in the system, and then they blame the whole system. And so I understand that frustration. That's why in this channel I just emphasize you so much. Have the job skills to where you can survive. If not, it's going to be really tough. And I understand that people get upset, right, for any number of reasons. And so you vote for people that sort of represent your anger. The issue is that, yes, I understand you're angry, but you have to have an alternative plan to fix the system. And so some of the stuff that they're trying to do, essentially, we just want to weaken the federal government. It's the government that's holding us down, and we want to put a bunch of troops on the border and build a big wall, this kind of stuff. My opinion, that's not going to solve these people's problems. And like I said, I think the core problem is you have a group of people in the USA, and it's both left and the right. It's not like single state or single city or single lean. It's just people. Some people don't have enough job skills to be successful, and the other problem as well is automation / robots is coming in, and there's just going to be less jobs. This is both white collar and blue collar. It is a problem. That's why I try so much on this channel, just to give you guys an education and just emphasize over and over again job skills. So this is just a result of this brewing problem. Where can we go from here? The other issue that will be a problem if indeed McCarthy says, you know what, I still want to be speaker and I'm going to give in to these people's demands. Basically what they'll get is these people who essentially are anti-establishment and want to weaken federal positions will make it easy to kick out the speaker whenever they want. They will be able to put things whatever they want on agenda because they want more control in the Rules Committee. The issue with this, and this is sort of in terms of strategic talk with you guys, if yes, Republicans control the House, and yes, let's say they want to vote on building the biggest, most expensive wall in history, it won't make it through the Senate, and it won't make it through a Democratic president. It just won't make it through. And so then you'll spend this whole time, and yes, maybe your constituents will be happy that you're fighting for the wall, but you're not going to get anything accomplished, right? So it's kind of like where we are right now, to where you can kick and scream, right, was what they're doing, and McCarthy's not going to win, and then basically the government doesn't do anything. So I don't necessarily, say that everything they say is wrong, because, like, for example, which I think if the group of 20 were, and I mentioned this before in the last video, were really fighting for, say, the balanced budget, right, meaning that the government can't just do deficit spending whenever they want, and they just stick to that, I think that they would really have a strong case to say, see, look, the establishment doesn't want to change. See, look, they want to waste your money. See, look, they want to print money, this kind of stuff. I think that would be a winning issue, to be perfectly frank, and I would be supportive of that. The thing is, like, sort of what these people want, they really want to control the agenda going forward for the Republican Party. And because it is so much to the right, it's going to be hard to pass these things. And so I'm just coming from a practical perspective of both, I obviously have my beliefs and what I think should be done in policy, but I also would like to talk with you, and this is sort of my job as professor, of like, if your role is in politics, like, how do you get things passed? How do you build consensus and these kind of things, right? Do you understand what I'm saying? So we're talking about two different things, like what the policy solutions are and what is practical in terms of your political career and politics are two separate things, because even if the 20 get what they want and stuff like that, it's pretty damaging to their political careers. Yes, maybe their voters like them in their own constituencies, but you're ruining your relationships with all of your compadres in the Republican Party, and the Democrats. It helps your opposition, in my opinion. I would say they just have to sit and let the Republicans fight and just let them do what they're going to do, because it makes the Republicans look bad. So I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on this thing. Do you think there'll be a resolution? Do you think McCarthy should step down, or do you think he should, give in and say, you know what, I just want to be speaker. I'll do whatever you guys want, and you can, get your positions on the committees, and we can put your stuff on the agenda, even though it won't pass. That's sort of how I see this. So this is my thoughts. I would love to hear yours as well. And again, we don't have a Speaker of the House yet, so nothing's going on in Congress other than lots of infighting. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you next video.